I've always said that to live somewhere where you're surrounded by nature and by beauty is a pleasure in itself, and I think to work somewhere like Thorpe Edge, where there's such a beautiful amenity on our doorstep, I think we actually get something just from being by somewhere that's so beautiful. It's a lovely place. On a morning when I drive past, I'm always captivated really by this beauty within a city area really. So we benefit from just working somewhere nice. But I think as well as that, when we look at areas to do with ecology and we think about saving the planet, it reminds us when we're talking about things in science or whatever that it actually means the environment right by our school. And we've even done things in English like poetry writing where we've thought about the environment and we've focused on Hague Beck. Well, I first came to work at the school almost a couple of years ago now, and a lady called Joan Holliday, who worked at the school and was a support assistant here, said that there was a meeting to do with Hague Beck, and I didn't really even know where Hague Beck was, and I was dying to find out everything that I could, so I went along.
There has been some problems though with litter and rubbish being thrown around Hague Beck, and there were the clean-up getting pupils involved, weren't there?
Yeah, when I first saw Hague Beck, it was pretty congested with things like old mattresses, and there must have been 30,000 Morrison's carrier bags there. And we even found a den made out of all sorts of building materials, and it was a mess really, and we set about, and I think we've been on 3 Hague Beck clean-up campaigns so far, and yeah, each time it looks good, and unfortunately people sometimes come back and spread the litter, and we go back and clear it up again.
So is it true about the development of Hague Beck? There's some changes being made around it? Yeah,
certainly. English Heritage have put quite a lot of money into it, and there are a group of people who've fought really hard. People like John Dallas, who used to come to this school years ago, who fought hard to get resources to make sure that we can spend money on it. And what's happened is that they've improved things like the seating there, but they've also built up little conservation areas, because there's an incredible amount of wildlife in Hague Beck, both in terms of flora and fauna and bird life, and what they're trying to do is to protect that natural habitat.
So what do you think of Clayton Muller then, because he's quite involved as a pupil at Parkland and quite involved with Hague Beck, isn't he?
Yeah, Clay's an activist. He's advertised Hague Beck clean-ups, and he's designed posters and things like that, and I think that Clayton actually proves that whatever it is that you do, you can do something to improve things in your own little way, and I'm always pleased when people get that message.
So after the clean-up, does it make you want to look forward to a new change, make it look better? It makes you feel better than yourself to know you've done something to help Hague Beck? Yeah,
I think it's quite easy. Sometimes we have such enormous problems on the planet that we can't do much about, like global warming, and last week I heard that there was a huge fire in the Amazon forest which they were trying to fight, and I think you get this feeling of helplessness, whereas when you go on a Hague Beck clean-up you realise that you can make a difference to your own backyard, and I think that's what we've done, and each time that you do that you feel good about it, and that's what spurs you want to carry on doing that sort of work.
So what's your opinion of the environment around you then? What do you think of it?
I think that this environment in this area is improving, both in terms of the housing as they're developing that, and Hague Beck is a remainder going back actually something like 300 years to what was around here, so it's a sense of continuity between the present and the past. And last night as I drove past it, I saw 2 kids actually playing. And they will be the future. They'll be the future of Thorpe Edge, and they'll be the future of Parkland, and there they were playing in these lovely surroundings. When I worked in London, I lived in a high-rise block, much the same as some of the buildings around here, and there wasn't any nature between them to break it up. So I think that little areas like Hague Beck are invaluable.
Yeah, do you find that vandalism takes a bit of a part in the problem as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes I think that it's the buildings which get vandalised more than Hague Beck. I think the problem with Hague Beck is that, you know, people throw things into it, which in a way is a kind of form of environmental vandalism. But the beauty of it is, in some ways, it's easier to clean up than it is to clean up vandalism that's done to buildings. So in a way, we're doing a bit to fight back at vandalism too, I suppose.
Yeah, so thanks for interviewing.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure.
I thought it could be the paper that's damp, but it's still doing it. Right.
It'll go for so long. I mean, I did 50 double-sided and no problem. But every so often it keeps going funny.
Right.
It's here. It gets stuck. You have to pull that down and do that, and it gets halfway stuck there. And it sometimes only don't take the paper there.
Right.
But it's all yours.
Okay, then.
Ingleborough Hall offers tremendous value for money. It offers a width of experience which we can't really surpass anywhere else. We think we offer them all sorts of things which they can't find here. If we were to take charge of a particular trip ourselves, we couldn't offer the expertise which they can offer to Ingleborough Hall. Therefore, an experience which we can't really offer if we went anywhere else.
Oh no! Oh, it smells. Mind your head, like you can. Oh, I hate this. I don't think it's smelling it. Watching Christopher. Oh, my camera. I hate this little thing. Where everything's drying. Well, that's why it's got a little building out of that.
I don't know where all the caving gear is.
It's this way.
No, it should be. No, it isn't. It's that way.
Oh no, yeah, it is. It should be in the room down there. Shouldn't it? Walk the steps. No, this is a walking gear. Yeah, it's a walking gear.
Smelly boots. We walk.
Hello.
What size do you take?
5.
Size 5.
Oh, good stuff.
Fire size 5 there. Those are yours for the week.
Good day fit.
They're not very clean, are they? I think you need to clean them up. Right. Size 3.
I'm only a small-footed person.
Size 3. You're a small person, are you?
Yeah, I'm only
Size
small-footed.
3. Yeah, picking a pair out. Yeah, put size 3 these here. See that by the R there? There you go, size 3. Now you must put the dubbing on them all the way around, you know.
Oh, I don't mind dubbing.
Well, you've got to get your fingers in there. Right? Size 3. No, but...
Cool. Let's look at these. They fit my feet. Do they? Yeah. They're blurred all over the place, these.
The most popular one, year after year, is caving. I've got to stress that I am just as much a novice caver, despite the number of years' experience as what the children are, in that I find it far more difficult than they do to actually get through some of the wriggles and crawls and things because of my size. But they get a great thrill out of caving. It's no doubt the number one experience which they do have when they go to Ingleborough Hall.
Can you hear the water?
Can you also hear this?
Going in there, man. What about you? What's that? Tipsy way Graham there.
Cute.
Somewhere. It might be a beetle. I'm excellent. I'll probably fall in 2. I'm winning. That's mine. I'm winning. Look, mine's well in front of everybody. Wait, man. I just say the truth. Gossips, isn't it? Catching up, mate's catching up. Mine's third. I'm gonna go, mine. Winning. Mine. Where's Ellie? There. I'm first. I'm last. Number one, yeah. I'm joining.
Over the last 3 or 4 years, we haven't overwalked the children. Okay, they have the boots and the experience of walking properly, but we don't set out with an idea of doing 10 or 12 miles for the sake of it, because many of the children are not used to walking and being brought up as walkers, so they're not going to enjoy it as an experience. They're going to go away with a negative feel about walking and a negative feel about going out in the open countryside, which we like to appreciate, as opposed to, here you are, this is an endurance test and you've passed it, well done. Ingleton is an essential place for all people who go to Ingleborough Hall to visit. It's a fantastic series of waterfalls, and the most spectacular one is Thornton Falls at the very top there.
Look at that.
It is a good experience for the children to go behind the waterfall, because they probably won't dare, or they won't have the encouragement to go behind another waterfall. It's a bit of a tricky route, but it's fairly safe in terms of scrambling. The kissing gates. Obviously last year's Year 7 must have been introduced to this concept of becoming rather very close to one's partner or one's favourite friend as someone goes through these particular types of gates. There are quite a lot, yes, it is a notable feature of the Clapham area that there seems to be a lot of kissing gates, that's very true. I think that the overall experience, that the camaraderie which is developed, the group feel, I never feel as if I'm in a situation where it's us and them, as if I'm in charge and they've got to look up to me. It becomes more of a big family atmosphere, and it's just us. I never feel as if I've got to really exert any school discipline there. People enjoy themselves, they don't try to get away with things which they might do in school. They're out there and they enjoy it from the beginning of Monday until the end of Friday afternoon when they come back.
For some teams that the one's first 2 games, and they also see the 4 goals in all tournaments, but other teams like
you are.
Luke? Yeah? Unless you can score 8, I don't think you'll catch up with mine.
I'm top scorer. I'm top scorer.
But you never know. Ryan might get knocked it on.
Top scorer. Brilliant. I'm scouts. My kid. Come on, you players! That's also. So quick then, you can. Now we know cool, man. Our children now.
Yep.
Posts. Posts. Is that the field for playing on? Was it? This because it's rubbish. This post? Yeah. Getting jiggy with it, Parkland.
Even if you lose, you're being beaten to the title in the 3rd division. But it'd be sad to go out on a sort of a poor note. I'd rather go out on a winning note, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Last game of the season and all that.
Have they won any matches?
Oh, they've won some games, yeah, they're pretty good. Wellington are always good.
Well, great place.
Make sure those laces are done properly.
Hello, this is our
Laces are done properly.
Oh, yeah.
Referee looks at his watch. Still plays a few more seconds. That must surely be one of the goals of the season. And the referee blows his whistle. It's all over.
After I informed the pupils, I immediately got in touch with the parents. As a parent myself, I recognise that no child's education is an experiment. And what I do wish for out of all of this is for us to maintain the ship going in the right direction and for me to keep a hand on the tiller. Because it's important that we remember that over the next 2, 3, 4 years, the children going through the service are going to have a disrupted time anyway, and we've got to be here to provide them with as much stability as we possibly can, because they get a one shot at education. It's important that they get the best shot that they can. And immediately I wrote to parents and told them that that would be our commitment, and we met together as a staff in the staff room, and after that sense of loss and that almost that sense of grieving, we said, these are our kids, we're here to serve them, let's get on and do that, because we owe them the best shot they can have. Children in Thorpe Edge, their life chances are defined by education, and we must make sure that even in these difficult times we still provide them with a quality education.